Alright guys, I'm sitting here weeding my garden, and I said, you know, let me just put a little short video together for you guys, just to talk to you a minute. You know, as we get older, you know, it does get harder on our bodies, all the bending over and the tilling and all that stuff, and so maybe something you could think about would be, as you get older, start making your garden beds higher, closer up. See, I'm weeding right now. Well, I just weeded all of this, and it's at my waist high. Real simple. I'm weeding this right now. It's waist high, and I'm getting it in. I'm weeding. I mean, all of that. You couldn't see the mud right there. You couldn't see it. All that was this in here, and yeah. So maybe that's something you could do. You know, like if you don't want to do the elevated beds or the containers and you want to stay on the ground, that's fine. But you can just build your border around it where you can raise it up and fill it in. And you know, I forgot what they call it. I know there's a word for it. But when you build it up high, you know, you can throw logs in the bottom of it. You can throw a lot of things that's gonna in time begin to decompose and decay, and it actually adds a lot of life and a lot of microorganisms and stuff to your soil, and worms and all that stuff. But you can get your gardens up higher. Now, I know some of y'all, you have, you know, I'm talking mainly, I guess, to the city homesteaders, okay? Because I realize if you got acreage of property, you know, I mean, and that's probably impossible to do something like that. But you can take some of your beds, or if there are some people that just don't have fields and fields, they do have separate, they make separate beds on their property to grow in, and I get it that, you know, if you got a lot of land and you're making big gardens, that's a lot, I know. But you can do the I forgot what they call it. There's a certain term for it, and I wish I knew what it was. And some of y'all probably saying, Cary, this is it, say it, you know, but I can't get it right now. It's but anyway, you can just start when you cut trees down on your property, save some of that to fill in the bottoms, and you know, maybe you need a pond. If you need a pond in your on your property, you don't have a pond, maybe you could start digging out a pond, and all that mud right there, you take all that and you make a pot, you make piles of it, and you save it, and that's all your dirt that you can use. And if you take that and you mix your chicken manure in it and stuff, and you know, you compost it, use it for composting. You don't have to do it all in 1 year. Take several years. You know, if you're making a big pond, you're going to have a lot of dirt to amend. You know what I mean? And so, boy, I wish thinking of that. So if I get my property, that's something I'm gonna do. If there's no pond on it, when I go to dig out a pond, all that mud's going back. It doesn't leave my property. But we'll make a pile of it, you know, and then we can, from there, you can start using that and start building up your raised beds or making elevated beds or whatever. But man, you got to start thinking about your future as you get older, to make the work part of homesteading easier for you, and that way it'll always remain fun. And you won't wear yourself out as quick. You can go on even longer. Some of you, you know, you had corporate jobs and you didn't tear your body up with hard labor at work like me. You know, I did granite work. I did all kind of construction my whole life, from floors, being on my knees on floors, to doing granite countertops, to fabricating them. And after Hurricane Katrina, well, I was in that business with the granite, and then we just started doing just granite for years and carrying hundreds of pounds of weight daily for years. And so it kind of wore out my joints. So when it was time to, you know, stop doing that and kind of retire, well, my backyard was all concrete because we used to drive forklifts. So I just stumbled into, now I didn't do the containers, but I made those beds with wood and stuff, and I did that for years, not even knowing that about raised beds, and that's before I got on YouTube and knew about all of that, you know. And so I just started growing like that, and then from there, well, I'm into the containers because I started thinking, well, you know, first of all, these elevated beds, they do after time rot, and you have to change them. And so I started thinking at that time when it was ready to change them, we were wanting to move. I'm thinking, man, it's gonna be hard, you know, I'm gonna have to clean all the mud out of here, because I'm thinking I want to take all that with us, maybe not the beds, I might have to throw them away or whatever, but all the dirt in there, man, all the mud, all the soil I've been making, you know, I didn't want to leave that. But then I started thinking, you know, whoever buys the house, if they into it, well, they're going to have a nice little setup. And it went from that thinking to, I started growing in containers. That way when we move, I can pick up these containers and take them with me. And I probably won't do container growing on our new property, and I might. I really don't know what I'm going to do yet when I get there. But everything is going to be up waist high for me to work out of. And I have to do that. I have to do that because my body doesn't allow me to bend. I bend a little bit, but I couldn't do that all day long every day. I didn't think I had it over there. I thought that was some landscape paper, but that was the leaves from the mustard greens. Yeah, and also, you know, when you're doing the raised beds and or elevated beds and the container growing, I find you have a lot less weeds anyway. And maybe not. Maybe it just seems that way because it's up higher. And, you know, most of the time when I'm walking by, I see stuff, I grab it and pull it out. You know, just throw it on the ground. I don't do a thorough weeding. Once every so often, like today, I decided to. And I started thinking about you guys. And this is like, look, if you're just getting into this and you're already up in age and you're thinking, man, I can't do it, I'm too old. You can grow, you can get you something. You don't have to get a huge garden, but you can do something to containers just like that. And I have containers all through here. Now, of course, this ain't enough food, you know, to feed us 100%. We never have to go to Walmart. No, I wish, but that's not the case, okay? But this gives us a lot of healthy stuff to eat from. I do have a piece of ground, it's not big at all. So I think it's 18 by 12 that I'm growing in, and I'm gonna do my cucumbers, tomatoes, and squash, and zucchini, and whatever else I decide to put in there. But my peppers are going to go in these containers here. Now I'm going to be moving all these little things, and these I got 10 big containers here and 4 smaller ones, which I can't put the peppers in there. I might be able to put one. I don't know. I have to find something else to put in there, I think. But it's only going to give me 10 pepper plants. Okay, now And 10 pepper plants, you can get a lot of peppers that we don't sit there and eat them, but what I do with them is I make hot pepper jellies and things like that. So, and that's what lasts us all year, doing it like that. Okay, now we still have to go to the store and buy bell peppers during the year to cut up and mix in our food and all, because I just don't have enough to do all that. So I decided, well, what I'm gonna do with my stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and make the jellies and all that way it lasts, instead of us trying to eat it all in the one season and then we still got to go buy it. So that's how I chose to do it that way. Yeah, so I'm getting in here and cleaning some of this out. I'm pulling some of these things that are going to seed, the arugula, because I'm not going to need that many seeds. I already have a bunch of seeds. I can really probably get by with not having any of them this year, but I'm going to keep some because I'm going to figure out how I'm going to bag them up and sell them. Okay. Now, of course, arugula is not like not real popular, let's say. That's what I find. A lot of people don't eat it. They don't realize that they do eat it a lot of times. If they might have it in restaurants in their food, they might not know about it, but they don't purposely go out and get arugula. And I get it. I never even heard of it until I started doing this kind of stuff, you know. But you know, we like arugula. I think it adds a good flavor to a salad, and we enjoy eating it. We don't eat it by itself. Not that you couldn't, but we just never have. We've always mixed it in with our salads. Now I'm going to be cutting down a lot of this lettuce today, bringing it in. We're starting to get into the hot season. I don't want that stuff to go bad on me, so we're gonna go ahead and harvest it. Now that is the butterhead lettuce, and it is a little more heat tolerant than some of the other lettuces. Now I'm wanting to keep these mustard greens. I'm breaking them down, but it's probably the worst thing to do because now the energy is going to grow more leaves. But I'm hoping that the heat will cause it to flower, because I want to get some mustard seeds. Not just for sale though, but because I buy mustard seeds when I make my pickled quail eggs. I put mustard seed in the mix, you know. That looks like something. I'm not going to pull that. It almost looks like garlic or something like that. I mean, it didn't grow. I'm going to pull it because it didn't grow. And let's see what it is. Get this out of here. Can't tell. I don't think it's garlic. They had like a bulb at the end of it, like it was a little onion, but I didn't plant no onions over here that I remember, and I could have. I've been known to have extra. I stick them other places and I don't mark it, so I forget, you know. But it was shaded out. It didn't grow, whatever it was. And it should look like what it looks like over there. Now let's see, the garlic over there is starting to wilt a little bit, so it's getting ready to probably harvest the garlic. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys for today. You know, might be something you might want to start considering. You don't have to like totally change over all at one time, but maybe take a section and start. Do a little section at a time. Build it up, and when you see how much easier it is to work, you can start converting over, you know. I'm definitely going to work waist high at my next place. I just don't know if I'm going to do it in containers or if I'm going to build just on the ground raised beds. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do that yet until, excuse me, until I get there and I start something, you know. I'm just not going to know. You can fit more in a like this elevated bed than you can when you do individual pots, you know, the containers. I find I can fit more. You have a tendency to separate things to fit in each container instead of looking at it as like, maybe look at that as one whole big thing and plan it, you know. It's hard. The brain don't look at it that way. You can try. I tried to, but it never comes out that way. It always comes out, well, in pot I can fit 2 here, in this pot 2. But then, you know, in here I put stuff right next to each other. I mean, cram it. Stuff in here that just grows just fine. Okay guys, that's going to be it for this little video, a little short video. Just want to kind of throw that out at you. You know, we're not getting younger, and we want to make life easier as we get older. So that's going to be it with this video. This is Cary with Homesteading City Style. Man, if you think this is a channel you might want to show to some of your friends that live in the city. Y'all been talking about maybe growing, and you're watching, and I'm not against any of that. I'm not saying don't watch them, but you're watching some of these people that, you know, have acreage and they're growing a lot. You need to listen to a couple of small guys like me, see what I'm doing in my little city-sized backyard, and you'll see that I'm on a total 1/8 of an acre total with my house on it, my shop that I used to have, and I have the greenhouse. I have chicken coops, and I have another area here where I have my aquaponics and my quail, so and all of that, and I have my little deck back here, and I got my little area with my pit and a swing. With all of that, and my driveway coming all the way up, with all of that back here, I'm cramming everything I can and every place else that I can in my backyard to grow food and to raise small animals. So man, if you know somebody that's living in the city, they want to start doing that, man, share my videos with them. Share my channel with them. And I ask that you like this video, hit the like button, or anytime you see it, if you could just hit that like button for me, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Okay. And so anyway, guys, this is it for this video. Thanks for just listening to me run my head today. But this is Homesteading City Style, and I'm Cary, and man, I'd just love to know if you are homesteading in your city-sized backyard, and make a comment. Let me know what you're doing. If you're in the city, you got a small yard, let me know what you're doing. You know, if you've got chickens in your yard, how big is your garden, you know. You can tell me anything you want. It would be great. I even would subscribe to your channel. Ask me to subscribe. So, because some people they don't have a channel for that. They just have a channel so they can go and subscribe to other people. But if you have a homestead channel that you're trying to grow, let me know. I'll go subscribe to it too. You know. So, but anyway, guys, be blessed. See you on the next video. Bye.